Hi my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to yet another video with me. If you are new here, my name is Janelle Moth, and to my returning subscribers, to my day ones, to my regular dayulars, what it do, baby? Welcome back to yet another video with me. Thank you for the continuous love and support. And today we're back with another video, and I am doing a book review. So I'm reviewing all the books that I have read this year. So if you watched my previous video about vision vision board planning, you'd have heard me saying that I wasn't really a reader, and for 2022 my goal was to start reading and being intentional about reading. So the aim was to read 12 books, one each month, but since I couldn't do it, I only got to 8, but which I feel like it was a good number. 8 out of 12, so it's over 50%. So I'm happy about that, and I'm slowly but surely getting into the reading habit, and it's been so beneficial. And I thought, let me share the books that I read this year and what they were all about, to inspire you to start reading as well, to go out there and start your reading habit. All right, so let's get into the video. So as you can see, there's a bunch of books behind me, so I'm just gonna take you through all of them and tell you what they are all about. So the first one is this one, Year of Yours by Shonda Rhimes. I'm sure a lot of you know who Shonda Rhimes is. Shonda Rhimes is a writer of the best series, one of them being How to Get Away with Murder, and she has her own production, Shonda Land. Yeah, I think it's Shonda Land. So this is the book that I actually read at the beginning of the year, starting from last year to December. Like I told you, I start channeling my habits from the year before I get into the new year, so I can already be in that habit as I go into the new year. So I started reading this in December and into the beginning of 2022, and this was a good starter pack for the year because this book is about saying yes. So it's about saying yes to challenges, it's about saying yes to everything. It's about saying yes, 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 and yes. So it tells a life story of Shonda Rhimes on who she was and how she changed her life by simply saying yes. So she used to be a person who used to just go to work, write, do her job. Although she was the best writer, she never used to have a social life. She never used to really, invest in herself. She just used to do her work and be good at it and left it there. Although people were proud of her, she was doing so well. She was living in her own little world where she was hiding from the rest of the world and not taking the opportunities that were given to her, like around her. So when she finally decided on a certain year that this year is going to be the year of years, she started deciding that she's going to start saying yes to everything, saying yes to being seen, saying yes to taking credit, saying yes to going out to events, saying yes to looking good, to being healthy, to losing weight, to being present. So she changed her entire life by simply just saying yes. So that's what the book is about. You just read about her life and how her life turned out after she started implementing some of the changes. And I think this was one of the books that really inspired me as well to start my own YouTube channel at the beginning of the year, because I feel like although I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I had an imposter syndrome. I didn't want to start my channel, but because I simply read the book and said I'm going to implement exactly what she did in this book and just say yes and see how things goes if I just say yes. And I definitely did that, and look how that's working out for me, guys. things are working out so well. I'm achieving my goals. I'm saying yes to my fears. I'm saying yes to conquering. Like, I'm facing my fears. Like, I'm out there. I'm putting myself out there, and I'm ready to explore even further. So this is a good for someone who needs some encouragement, who needs to get the ball rolling, and start feeling like they're doing something with their lives. So this the book you should definitely read. It will definitely inspire you. So once you read it, do drop comment in the comment section. Tell me if you enjoyed the book. So moving on to the next book. So the next book, so I'm not really going in order of when I read what. I'm just selecting my top books, going I'm going from the top to the bottom. So yeah, hence, because this one was the first one to inspire me for the year, I started with it. All right. So the second book I read this year was Crazy Faith. I think we all know who Michael Todd is, for those who love to watch Transformation Church, and for those who have read Relationship Goals. So Michael Todd is a pastor, so this is Pastor Michael Todd. So you can relate to him in this book. So Michael Todd was never a saint, like any of us, like here. So he speaks about his life experiences and how him believing and trusting God and having faith has changed his life for the better. So this book has also helped me in terms of foiling my belief, foiling my faith. He talks about different things in this book about working in faith, how to take those baby steps in faith, how to believe in the words that you saying to God, to believe in the things that you're asking from the universe, how to stay rooted in faith regardless of what's going on in your life. I love how he also explains that life will never be easy, and it doesn't mean that God is not there in your tough times. God is always there with you, and he knows what he's doing. Sometimes he's teaching you something because he's preparing you for the next chapter of your life. This book, it really did that for me. It just kept me rooted in my faith, to know that whatever that is that I believe for and that I wish for, it's possible with God. That this faith that I have, no matter how little it is, everything is eventually going to work out for the better. And I believe that everything eventually does. God knows what he's doing. And this book, yeah, it's just going to get you there. Let me not rant, but you get what I'm saying. So this book helps you in terms of getting yourself into believing again if you're lacking in faith. So this book will help you to start picking up yourself and start working on your faith. All right. So yeah, this is my second book, one of the books that I enjoyed this year. So moving on to the next book. All right, so the next book is by Robin Sharma, Discover Your Destiny with the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So as I was taking the next book, I decided, let me take all the books that covers the spiritual and life in general type of things, and then I'll move to financial and career, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. So this book is written by Robin Sharma. I think a lot of people know The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So this book has the 7 stages of self-awakening. I've shared this in one of my videos, I think, on how to become that girl or how to become that boy video. So I shared about this book and what it has inspired. So it's basically about the monk who sold his Ferrari, how he came back and he helped another guy find his path in life, right? So he was basically helping this rich guy who seemingly had it all according to to the eyes of the world. When you see rich people I think he was owning chains of hotels and stuff like that, but he wasn't happy at all in his life. Like, he had all those, all those money, all that wealth, and he wasn't happy in his life. He was just living a meaningless life. He did not have a purpose for his life. He felt like he was just yes, making all of this money, but he didn't feel that, the thing inside, that makes you feel like you're alive. He didn't find some sense of fulfillment, like, so he finally met with the monk, I think at some TED talk or something. He went there. It was recommended by one of the friends, one of the colleagues at the office, and then they gave him a ticket to go to that TED talk, and then that's where he met the monk. And after that, they got engaged in certain activities together, where he was challenging him and his beliefs, his faith, and stuff like that, because this guy literally tried to kill himself. He has lost all faith and he was done with life, and he was ready to take away his life. But the monk helped him revive his energy and see life in a different eye, and taught him how to invest in himself, especially spiritually so, and not physically so this book is trying to show that if you do not work on yourself, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and you just work towards wealth, once you get there and you haven't worked on this thing, you will never feel fulfilled, because you were never happy to begin with. So this book is about channeling you to get happiness from things that don't even cost anything, things that requires you to just work on yourself, like without using any money, like your meditations, like your praying, like all those things that you need in your life to feel more happy and more fulfilled, without tapping into the financial side of things. Obviously, finances will always play a part in our lives, but you will need to start being happy, you yourself, within yourself, before money can even make you happy. Because once money doesn't make you happy, you just become this greedy person. You'll just never be fulfilled. Regardless how much money you have, you will just never be fulfilled, because internally you're not happy, right? So yeah, this is what this book is about. So if you think you want to read this, you can get this as well. So it has 7 stages that they talk about in here. So you find those 7 stages, and then I think I did go through them in that how to become that girl video, right? So moving on to the next one. So the next one is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think I'm saying that correctly. So this is also one of spiritual type of thing, life thing book as well. So this talks about a young man who was a shepherd, who was he had his, what is that, was it goats or was it sheep? I think it was sheep, right? He spent most of his life being a shepherd. He grew up from a town where people lived through, I think back in the days, when wealth wasn't really monetary wise, they were using different things back in the days, like your diamonds or your golds or whatever, back in the days. So he was a shepherd who lived his life exploring life through his sheep, because that's where he spent his time, with his sheep, traveling across different towns. And life was just okay for him, and he enjoyed the relationship he had with his sheep at that point. And something, I don't remember properly, but something happened that prompted him to move out of that space and life, because the universe wanted him to be somewhere else, like God wanted him to be somewhere else. I think he met with whether it was, I don't know if it was a king or like something like that. And then he taught him about omens and stuff, and he spoke to him about a dream that he had, a dream that was telling him that he has something waiting for him at the desert, I think by the pyramids, and that's where he needs to go. And then the king came and told him all about these omens and stuff and how he should listen to them. And then after that, the boy decided to follow that dream because he now knows that there's something waiting for him in the pyramids. And then when he goes there, he thought maybe, I don't know, wealth was waiting for him in a way. Saying he thought he had, I don't know, maybe some sort of wealth waiting for him on the other side of the world, where maybe he's gonna be the richest person or something like that. And then it turns out that he fell in love with some girl on that side of the world, and he thought that he has finally found the treasure, which is what the dream was about for him. He thought that his treasure that was waiting for him on the other side was actually this woman where he fell in love with. So it's also more on the spiritual journey type of thing. It was more about how to be wise, how to learn not to be in control and let things be by the way his life unfolded. Because I think at the end of the day, when the book ended, it wasn't really about the money. Like it was just about him finding the secret to happiness as well, like the secret to happiness, and being able to connect to the world, like to the universe, to the birds, to the grass, to everything around him, how everything around him lives. And it's not about being the wealthiest man alive. So I think if you want more on this book, a better explanation, you can watch Mpumi Lidwava's channel. She also did a review on this book. I think she explained it way better because she had read the book at that point and reviewed it the same time as Sim. I read it, but it's been a while, so obviously now I can't really recall most of the things, like how the events, how they were happening, but it was something around those lines. All right, so moving on to the next book. So the next book that I read was this Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead by Sheryl Sandberg. So this book was actually recommended to me by one of my directors at my previous work. So I used to work directly with one of the directors. So we had a one-on-one on our check-in session where we're just catching up. And then one of the books that she recommended was this one, because she's in leadership and she understands the things that women go through. So she felt like as a young girl, this book would serve me very well and position me to be ready to be a leader, one day. So this book is about, like it says here, women, work, and the will to lead. It just speaks about the standards of the society and how things are in the workplace, how women are not preferred for leading because they are believed to be emotional, or they believe that because as women we always have these things, like naturally we're born to be mothers and we're not meant to be in leadership. It talks about men and their egos and how they treat women in a workplace and how they never see women as their equals. Same goes back into households, into homes, how men and women are never equal in a household, how men feel like they should lead just financially in a household and never be present in terms of the cooking, the cleaning, showing up 50-50. So it says the same thing about women in the office, how women never shows up on the table as the man does, how women underestimate their powers, their own opinions, how women are not so confident, and they're just allowing the world and the world standards to to know how to live their lives, so she goes into that and gives advice on how to show up, how to show up for yourself, for your career, how to take up space, how to sit on the table as a woman, how to stop feeling inferior, how to take your power back, to sit on those tables, to know that you can be pregnant and still be a leader, to know that you can go on your maternity leave and still come back, because that's normal, that's like natural. So people shouldn't take advantage of that simply because you're a woman, like, no, she's a woman, what if she gets pregnant, if she's a leader, then if she doesn't come back, those type of things, so she advises on those type of things, and shows that some women are also are not meant to be like, stay-at-home moms, or have to be like, the one more present than the father. Sometimes some households function with the father being the stay-at-home father and the woman working, because that's how the world is. People, we are all equal, and we just function in different ways. So she was just highlighting all those things, the standards that society has set for women, and how we can overcome that, and also telling men how they can meet us halfway in that thing, especially in at home, in the household, those type of things. So I really enjoyed reading this book. I would recommend it as well for any young person who is in corporate, who sees themselves climbing the ladder. This is definitely for you as well. You can read this, and it will definitely help you change your mindset in terms of how you think and you represent yourself in a workplace. And then the next book is this one, Nice Girls Still Don't Get the Corner Office by Louis Frankel. So this is the same, almost the same as Lean In, although Lean In is more on, interactive side, storytelling vibes, because it's more on Cheryl's experience. On this one, it's a book full of case studies for different people, from different people, and this is obviously covers for women. So it also speaks about the same things, how women will never get the corner office because of certain behaviors that they uphold that stops them from achieving their goals, because they still feel like, inferior, or still feel like, being out there because they don't want to be seen as overbearing or stuff like that. So they are more on the same side. So this also has activities. Actually, this one has activities that can help you actually determine where you are as a person in a corporate space. Like, you are able to do those activities and write off and see where you are according to the scores. Like, it rates you according to the scores where you are, and then you can see which part of yourself you need to work on based on your scores, and the things you need to improve on yourself. So this is also good. If you're in corporate and you want to be a corporate Betty, this is definitely for you. It has a lot of breakdowns in terms of behaviors, a lot of breakdowns. Like, it's broken down into layer by layer. Let me show you actually. So for example, you can just see how you should sound. Look at how many things are under the topic. Like, that's how layers are broken down. Like, coaching statements as questions, using preambles, explaining, asking for permissions, apologizing, using minimizing words, not to hurt people, of course, using qualifiers, not answering the questions you're asked, talking too fast, the inability to speak the language of your business, speaking softly, speaking at a higher than natural pitch. The scary part, I think, when you're scared, those type of things. So it goes on. And then how you look as well, obvious body ink and piercings, smiling inappropriately, taking up too little space, using gestures inconsistent with your messages. Like, when you're serious about something but you're acting like it's okay. No, when you angry, you're mad. Show the person that you met. Tell them that I'm mad. Like, I'm serious. I'll fix this. Don't say, please fix this. No, fix this. The straight face. Please fix this and go. Anyway, and then the next book is this, You're Not Broke, You're Pre-Rich by Mapaloma Ku. Ditch debt, stop living from payday to payday, and manage black tax to live your best life. So this book is written by a young South African woman, Mapaloma Ku, who's also in the I think the accounting space, and she has experience in finance. So this is one of the reasons she wrote this book. She basically gives you she basically gives you tips on how to manage your finances, like in your life. She's breaking it down into different things, like here you say, like debt, black tax, she talks about credit score, she talks about loans, how to repay those, how to manage your salary so you don't live from payday to payday. So she covers a whole lot of things according a whole lot of things in your financial life. Some tips also revolve around like budgeting, like how does that 80-20 rule, how's that 20-20-60 rule, those type of things. So she covers a lot of things around that. So this is really a beneficial book to read because it would help you to structure your financial life accordingly, because it's very good in that way that she has structured things perfectly for you to be able to relate to this book and be able to plan better. So you can also watch her YouTube channel as well. She has a YouTube channel, so you can catch a lot of those advices on her YouTube channel as well. So if you can't buy the book as yet, watch her YouTube channel. You will definitely get dope content there regarding your finances. That's going to help you manage your finances very well. I really enjoyed the book because it was very relatable, and obviously for me it was a quick read because some of the things I've already started implementing. I was already working on them, so this was just like cherry on top, just to see how do other people do it. Invest in property, buying a car. She's giving all those advices around those things, insurance. Yeah, this is really a good book. I enjoyed reading it, so you can get yourself a copy as well. And then last but not least for this year is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I think it's Kiyosaki. But yeah, this book I'm still currently reading, but it's also about, finances as well, and how you think about money. So this one, unlike Mapalo's one where she gives you advices on how to handle your finances, this one also forces you to think about creating wealth for yourself, right? It taps into how individuals are programmed to think, especially for your 9-to-5 jobs, the things that regular people do and not thinking out of the box. So it actually offends you. Like, it actually, I posted it the other day. I'm like, in a good way though, because it forces you to think, like, do you work for money or make money work for you? So it forces you to think out of the box and think about creating wealth for yourself, not through your 9-to-5, but through being smart and coming up with ideas that are gonna help you not live from paycheck to paycheck and from debt to debt. So this book is where it's at. I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm definitely enjoying it at the moment. So yeah, you can also get yourself a copy of this. I feel like it's a good book as well, so you can definitely get a copy of this. You're gonna enjoy it. All right. So this brings me to the end of the video. I hope you really enjoyed the book review. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me that you're here. Tell me which book are you gonna try out. So anyway, I'll see you in my next one. Stay blessed and stay safe. Until next time, bye.